Hey everyone, welcome back to our Epoxy Skills Series training. We've already done some steps in this project, so in this video you will learn step by step how to up-level this countertop by cutting a fissure in it and filling it with stone coat casting epoxy. Stay tuned and enjoy the video.
Remember, when you subscribe to our channel, click on the red subscribe button and be sure to ring the bell so you get notified every time we have a new video. Thanks again.
All right, I went to lunch and I was in line getting ready to check out, and I had an idea that I think I want to incorporate in my home show display. I think it would be really cool to utilize casting epoxy and light in an MDF project. Typically in a river table, you're going to do a casting, you're going to do a contrasting look to that wood, but why not try that in countertops? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out an organic shape. I'm not going to make it straight. I'm going to freehand the cut, and I'm going to open up a crack and crevice in this top. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to inlay and hide LEDs in this project so that I could come into my home show display, turn it on, and boom, it's going to light up, and I could change the colors and accent this matte finish marble and take it to the next level. All right, so I'm just going to pencil out my crack and my crevice. I'm going to open it up. I'll step back and look at it. We've only done one coat of paint and primer in one, so really this is still my blank canvas. So what does a crack and a crevice look like in this marble matte finish top? What do you make it?
Wiggly.
Wiggly. I don't know. Let's do a wiggly crack and crevice right now. I got my jigsaw. I'm going to attempt to get through the MDF without a pilot hole. Let's do it. That's cool, man. Gonna have to work fast when you put a lot of hardener in it. That's okay. I think I'm gonna apply most of this by hand. Just any imperfections you can add to it is gonna look more real, I think. You know, when you work it later in the drying, which we're about out now, but when you work it like that, you get different textures that remain, you know?
Right.
I say we leave it. We'll let this dry, we'll come back, we'll over sand the top. You could probably use this to scrape some of it off the top right now. Yeah. And then we'll paint this again. I got 220 grit on that soft backer. I love these soft backers. You can find these on our Amazon tool links at stonecoatcountertops.com. Anything that we don't carry in our store that we use all the time, we find on our Amazon tool links. It's a great resource. Check it out. All right, I say we flip this over so we can get the bottom flush, and we'll attach like our patch.
Okay.
Sweet. I'm gonna get my grinder.
I think I can hit.
Oh, you think you'll go fast?
Yeah, there's a brand new pad, so.
All right, we gotta find a piece of wood to span that. Yes. That's what I'm gonna use. All right, here's what we're gonna do, guys. I don't wanna get a brush full of paint, and I got this little crack and crevice that I can't get to. Let's cheat. That's cheating. All right, what we're gonna do next is optional. You don't have to put an awesome crack and crevice in your countertop. It's only an option, right?
Right.
This is actually new territory. I'm excited to see what it looks like, but don't get overwhelmed. If this is your first project, check out our Epoxy Basics page. It teaches you the tips and tricks of how to do epoxy the easy way to create easy, repeatable results. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this thing to the next level, create a window through this to have light come through and just make this thing pop. We're going to take a little bit of spray paint and fog this Rockface crevice crack so that when you look into it, it doesn't just look plain. We're also going to cover this with tyvek tape to create a stopper or a band-aid or a blocker for that epoxy to not leak out and go everywhere. We're going to use screws and then tape that overlap so we can take this off after that epoxy sets up. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
I just use my knife and just poke it. And
yep, that's all you got to do.
Right, you know. I really like this Rockface edge. This was a team effort. This was awesome. What we're going to do now is flip it over. We're going to put our Band-Aid on the backside and really stop this from leaking so we can pour our casting and create this exceptional showpiece. And another thing that I want to point out, we flip this over. We know it's going to be on its finished face, so that way when we flip it back over, we're going to fog some color. I didn't do that anticipating we might mess it up by flipping kind of wet paint onto this surface. So we'll flip it back. We'll add the color after we put our dam in. So I just got 3/4 inch pan heads. The pan head's going to give us some good bite, and then I think what we can do is use hot glue around the perimeter. That's going to allow us to do this today and not wait for the silicone to set up.
Right.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I like tyvek because this stuff does not give up easy. It's pretty strong.
Get the game plan. Oh, I like how you did that little line right there.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. Well, it kind of ties into the little crack, right?
Yep. What a cool palette, you know? Wow. You got the heavy end, dude.
That's good.
That's not okay.
That's good.
You're my guest. Tell me when.
All right, you're good.
All right. That feel good?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got our color palette and I threw a change up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do our silver metallic, our copper metallic, our black, and our white. Those are all spray paints. Then we're gonna do our violet pearl metallic. That's a really beautiful color when it's combined with those lighter colors. You can see right here, it gives it that violet pearl pinkish hue that looks like natural stone. You'll see that color in Carrara and different marbles, but we're also gonna add that diamond dust. The diamond dust really stays suspended in the epoxy. It gives it that hard chunk of metallic and mica that looks very natural and creates a quartzite look and appearance. We're going to mix our material using a stick. Casting epoxy, you want to mix it with a stick so you don't entrain too much air because we're pouring thick. Our normal casting epoxy is designed to go 3/4 inch thick depending on your mass. We're going to have fun, we're going to get started, and we're going to take this countertop to the next level. You ready?
Let's do this.
Woo! It's 2-to-1 ratio, right? So let's use these. There's our 2 and our 1. We're going to use that. And so we want a full bucket. So let's go to the 4 with our part A and the 4 here with our part B. And that'll be a 2-to-1.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Take it.
I'm building some guns doing this.
We're triple teaming right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare 2 cups here with these additives. And I don't want to use a lot because I don't want it to not be able to be seen through. Look at that stuff. That stuff is sweet.
I know.
Now, if you can take off the copper lid without any of them falling, that would be amazing. How are you going to do that?
Get some white and tint this whole thing too. Those are really going to be more opaque accents that we add, but I'm going to add just a little bit of pearl into this big mass. It does look like a pearl, man.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, I'm gonna pour this.
All right.
I'm gonna torch that, and then we'll add a little bit more. You don't need much. Yeah, exactly. You're a veteran, bro. I could tell you've done this before.
Once or twice.
Here we go, round 2. That's a pretty color already. Oh, that looks sweet. And you can still see the bottom, right?
Yeah.
This is gorgeous. It's deep. It's got that pearl and that. It's got that violet pearl. It's got the diamond dust, and it looks like an embedded rock. And we're just going to mix a little bit more to fill this to the top.
So this is pearl, diamond dust, and violet dust.
Violet pearl.
That's
Yes,
it.
that's
the
it.
only 3. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
now look how it mixes and makes almost that pink looking color.
It
That's
does.
what
Now, the deeper you're casting, the more it moves. I could come back and this might be totally moved,
going, yeah.
and it'll do beauty for me without trying.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the thing you got to be aware of is under moving things, but you don't want to move it to all the same color either.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Should we add more diamond dust to this?
You can't ever have too much diamond.
All right, we're doing it.
Did you do diamond or pearl?
I'm doing diamond because diamond you can see through more.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Woo! Diamond dust! Luke, what are your thoughts, man?
Diamond dust!
Let me stir that for you. Just like turning butter, huh?
Here we go. Let's fill this to the brim. Rhonda, this is amazing.
This is just...
You know what that's going to look like with light coming
Yes. It's going to be incredible.
through. That is gorgeous. I mean, you don't see that edge, but just a little.
Yeah,
And
just-
if we would have left it MDF,
Right, it would have looked cheesy.
that look at the
Yeah.
look and the effect. Some of the things that look the best in this, we couldn't even tell you how it happened. It's just epoxy doing its thing, and,
Right.
and knowing how much additives to add, the right additives for the right situation, and that diamond dust giving us that 3D floating.
That depth.
Think about how the light's going to react with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
All right. So what I'm going to do next is take this off. I want to take this Band-Aid off so I can see the light come through, and then when I pour, I can ensure that I don't over pour this where I hide the light. That Tyvek tape is no joke. It holds very, very well to anything that I stick it to. MDF, it just really holds nice. Oh, there we go. There was a little leak right here. So it's a good thing that we put that Tyvek on. See? Insurance is good. Reduce, reuse, recycle. All right, now it's time to test how well this thing will come up. It's a little loose down here. I saw that from the screws. So I'm curious to see how well this pops up. Oh, pretty good so far. It didn't leave much here at all. A little bit where I had that leak is built up, but I'll sand that right off. But this is gonna be clean. Dang. Next step I'm gonna do is use my 50 grit metal sanding disc to sand this off. We'll get a nice smooth bottom. Then I'm curious to see how much light comes through this. I'm gonna test that out, and then it's time to pour the next part of this color coat. Let's do it. I'm gonna scrape any of that excess hot glue off because I know if I warm that up with my sander, it's just gonna reheat it, so I don't wanna do that. You could almost be good with that, but let's just make sure it's nice and smooth transition. We don't want any high point when we lay this down on our counter. I'm gonna switch discs. This one's pretty worn out. I'm gonna sand it a little bit with 220. I'm excited. That is pearl. That's like a piece of pearl in there. Wow. Let's go coat this. I can't wait. I cleaned this with 91% isopropyl alcohol, and then I masked off this pearl inlay. I wanted to do that so I don't get anything on it on this coat. I was considering kind of overlaying the whole thing to match, but I love the way that looks so much. I don't want to mess with it. I'll just do a clear over both color coats after they're both set up. I'll come back after a few hours after the color coat has set up, just like I did in this piece over here. If you haven't seen the video on how we finished this one off, go check that out. I'll link that in the description. But this is the same idea. We've taped this off. We're going to keep this untouched. The rest of it we're going to color coat, then we'll peel that off and feather it together. Let us know in the comments. What do you think of this process? Do you like this piece? How could it have been up-leveled? Let us know in the comments below.